Hey everybody, welcome back to Swiftlessons. Today we're getting back to blues with a full practice routine, this time inspired by the late great Brownie McGhee. It's gonna look and sound like this. A 1, 2, 3. Let's break that down. Okay, getting started breaking down this routine, starting with line number 1 of our tab, which you can download at patreon.com/swiftlessons, along with a guitar profile. Okay, so line number 1, again, it's gonna sound like this, real slow. Let's see what you can figure out. Repeat. Okay, so pretty simple. That's 4 measures of music right there, basically repeating the same thing twice. We're shuffling in the key of E, and we're throwing in this very cool major lick. Once again, it sounds like this. Very similar to what you hear Brownie play on various live performances of Born and Livin' with the Blues. It starts with an upstroke on the high E string and B string. Next, we're hammering on to the B string 0 to 2, then going to the high E string open. Stop there and practice. Next, we're going to the 2nd fret of the high E string. We're gonna hammer up a half step, pull off back down, and then pull off to the open high E. You add that into the mix and we have. All right, then finishing up the lick, we're going to the 2nd fret of the B string with a slight bend. And then finishing like we started, the open high E string and the B string together. You put all that together and we have. All right, from there, we're jumping into the shuffle. All right, I have the low E string open, droning, and then I have the 2nd fret of the A string. All right, the frets, 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 5, 4. Very cool variation to the standard shuffle. You put those 2 elements together and we have 2, 3, and 4, and 1. All right, from there, we're going to jump back into the lick and then repeat the shuffle. All right, now moving into line number 2, we're going to play the lick again, then jump into the 4 chord A7. Where we're gonna introduce a very cool rhythmic change. Okay, so breaking down line number 2, once again, it started with the E power chord, the major lick, and then transposing the shuffle to the key of A. Just bring it down to the floor 1 string. That's 2 measures of music right there. So. Now, we're gonna throw in a very cool classic rhythm change that you hear a lot of older blues players perform. Here it is. And then you're back to the 1. Okay, so you have the regular shuffle, 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 5, 4. But then you're going to play down, up, as you go back and forth between the 2nd and the 4th frets. All right, then you're going to bar with the index finger and play an A7 chord shape. So I'm barring 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, 2nd fret B, but then I have my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. That's the dominant 7 in the chord, making this an A7 chord. All right, there we're gonna play down, up, remove the ring finger. Now you have 2nd fret. All right, so then we just played 2, 0. All right, that will get us back to the 1 chord. All right, and then on to line number 3. Okay, you put all of lines 1 and 2 together and we have 8 measures of music. We're halfway through. A 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1. Okay, that gets us to line number 3, where we're gonna go from the 1 chord with the major lick. That'll get us to the 5 chord B7, then down to the 4 chord A7 with a new lick, and then onto the 1 chord with the turnaround that you've heard in so many classic blues songs. So line 3 is gonna look and sound like this, starting with that lick in E major. B7. Okay, so we played the lick verbatim. Then we're going into the B7 chord, the 5 chord in the key of E, where we're gonna play a walk down to the A7 chord. All right, so I have the B7 chord, 2nd fret A string, 1st fret D, 2nd fret G, and the 2nd fret of the high E string. A garden variety B7 chord. There we're gonna play bass, up, down, up. Switch the bass note to the F sharp, bass, up. Then we're gonna walk down, 2-1 on the A string. That gets us to the A7 chord, where we're gonna play all right, a transition back to the E chord. All right, so that lick over A7, I played the open A string to represent the chord. Then I'm playing the 3rd fret high E string. Next, 0-2-0 with a hammer and a pull. Next, I'm gonna do a slight bend, 2nd fret of the B string, and then the open high E string. All right, you put that lick together and we have. All right, next I'm gonna play a very cool rhythmic way of getting back to the E chord. An open strum, an A chord, and then an open high E string and B string together. And then, all right, that gets us back to the E or the E7 chord, which we're going to imply using a classic turnaround. But so far, in line number 3, we should have this. Ready? The B7, walk. All right, now the final measure of line 3, this classic turnaround. You can start it by hitting that low E string. If you have the muscle memory for it, you could strum an entire E chord, but then you're going to slide up in the 4th fret of the G string, alternating with the 4th fret high E string. So 4, 4, 4. Notice how I'm using hybrid picking, that's key. Take that down a half step, then down to the 2nd fret, and then finally, to get yourself to the next line of music, all right, hammering on to the 1st fret of the G string as you pluck the high E string with it. All right, that's a classic turnaround. Okay, you add it into the mix and we have line number 3 in its entirety. B7, walk. Alright, that gets us to line number 4, where we're going to finish up the routine. Go into a B7 chord, sounds like this. Alright, and then stretching our hands to get to this E9 chord shape. So I walked up to the B7 chord. I'm going to strum it once, downstroke, followed by an open upstroke. Next, I'm going to bend, low E string 3rd fret, the minor 3rd. I'm going to bend it about a half step before going to the low E string open. Alright, then I'm going to strum an E9 chord shape. I love this chord. We've got the 7th fret of the A string, 6th fret D, and then with the ring finger, I'm barring across the G string, B string, and high E, 7th fret. As I extend my pinky out, 9th fret, back, and then finally resolving. Alright, for a nice little kind of ornamentation there. Alright, you put that ending together coming out of the turnaround, and it should sound like this. Nice and soft for a tasteful ending. Now, let's practice together. Let's see if you can play along through the entire routine. Here we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A7. Alright friends, thanks so much for checking out this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, big thanks to my supporters at patreon.com/Swiftlessons. I hope you're enjoying all those extra resources. And thanks to you guys, I got many more lessons coming up, so keep checking in. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swiftlessons saying happy picking.